credible and competent. That's how the Free National Movement leader is describing the first slate of candidates revealed for the upcoming general election. But how did residents respond to the slate of potential parliamentarians? Our Danielle Miller took to the streets of the capital to hear your feedback firsthand. And then, government stepping in to address ongoing concerns raised by Silver Airways employees in the Bahamas. The aviation director responds. And then in our news at 7:30, we head over to the nation's second city as residents there weigh in on the recent ratification of Free National Movement candidates selected to represent the North. The details on these stories and more as our news at 7 starts now. Welcome to our news live at 7. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Megan Shepard. 17 candidates for the next general election were unveiled by the Free National Movement last night at the party's headquarters on Mackey Street. The 17 candidates include former F&M members of Parliament as well as political newcomers. Speaking at the launch, party leader Michael Pintard told supporters the F&M was cautious about who it's choosing to represent them.
The truth is our people are waiting for a difference. They have hopes that a new generation of leaders would emerge who are less concerned about themselves but more committed to helping our children achieve their dreams and aspirations. Tonight we have come with a slate of candidates capable of delivering that change.
He also hit out at Prime Minister Philip Davis and his record, dubbing him Lil Phil. Pintard's criticism comes weeks after Davis questioned his profession and leadership qualifications at a PLP men's branch meeting last month. Here's what Pintard had to say on stage last night.
Lil Phil talks about me, him and his team. If you watch them in the House of Assembly, early in the morning, they talking about me. At the midday hour when they should be praying to Jesus Christ, they talking about me. Late in the night when they should be holding their boo or snooks, they busy talking about me. All I want to say to them is I ain't got time to study them. No, I'm not looking over my shoulder. My eyes are fastened on the kind of country we will build together.
Well, a few former members of Parliament are again seeking a second term for the Free National Movement as the party is set on defeating the governing Progressive Liberal Party in the next general election. Each pointed to reasons they believe they are the right man for the job. Brittany McDermott has that story.
The rollout of 17 candidates for the Free National Movement saw some familiar faces on the slate as the party insists these individuals will work to wipe out the governing Progressive Liberal Party. Among the hopefuls were former North Abaco MP and former Foreign Affairs Minister Darren Henfield. But this time he's hoping the voters of South Beach will give him a second term in Parliament.
South Beach is crying out for a voice that would listen, that would be responsive to their needs and represent their views in the House of Assembly. Too often we are elected to office and we go and forget the people that send us there.
That same night, the F&M ratified Therese Boodle for North Abaco and Jeremy Sweeting for South and Central Abaco. Henfield gave them this endorsement.
North Abaco is in good hands with Therese Boodle. South and Central Abaco is in wonderful hands with Jeremy Sweeting. They're both local government practitioners.
This is the first major step the F&M has taken on the road to the 2026 general election. Energetic F&M supporters came out in all their red gear anticipating the rollout of these candidates as they say they are ready to take the government under new leadership. Another former cabinet minister making the candidates list for the F&M is former Yamacraw MP Ellsworth Johnson. Johnson telling us where he stands, it seems the current MP has been absent since being elected, claiming many have reported a failure in representation in the area. It's something he says he intends to fix.
All governments require service, transparency, and accountability, and I intend to encourage that and continue with that.
Carlton Bowleg is also looking to represent his former constituency of North Andros and the Berry Islands, telling us the support for him is strong, adding that many have realized the good he has done since his election loss.
And the call is for me to come back. There was no one there even trying to come against me to run in that seat. So I know definitely what it was. And a lot of people are saying if I am not back, then they're not voting. So it was clear, people. The most important thing is to make sure that you listen to your people, you hear what their cries are, and you meet the demand. There are too much hungry children and hungry homes. People are hungry in North Andros. That needs attention.
Reporting for our news, I'm Berthany McDermott.
Thanks so much, Berthany. The launch of the F&M candidates has caused a stir in the political realm, sparking conversations and talk of the next general election. But what is the general public's reaction? Our Danielle Miller took to the streets to find out.
On Wednesday evening, the Free National Movement ratified 17 candidates for the upcoming general election. Following this announcement, we took to the streets to ask the public what are their thoughts. Many of them who opted not to be on camera said they didn't even know it was happening. But others had this response.
I don't really track politics as well, so I don't have a clear and concise opinion on what it is.
A candid declaration made by one resident a day after the F&M launched its first slate of candidates. F&M leader Michael Pintard previously promised his administration would deliver a new cadre of leaders. During last night's launch, there were several candidates who were familiar faces to frontline politics, former MPs who served in the last minister's administration. Here's what residents had to say about those prospects.
I can be honest. I would say that most of the times, especially throughout the year, when it's not political season, you really don't see anybody.
What are you going to do, put makeup on those fellas, or what are you going to do? I mean, you asked me a question, I'm being honest. What are they going to do that they ain't doing the years? What are they going to do? They got a special makeup now? I want to wish them the best of luck. And I hope Brave get himself together.
The F&M said the unveiling of its first 17 candidates marked the beginning of a national campaign. Reporting for our news, I'm Danielle Miller.
Thanks so much, Danielle. A man has been charged with the murder of an off-duty policeman as he made deposits for two businesses on Father's Day. 42-year-old Ronald Telford stood before senior magistrate Shaka Serville, charged with the June 14th murder of reservist Inspector Lernix Williams. Telford is also accused of robbing Williams of a deposit bag containing $25,000, which is the property of Esso Service Station on Montrose Avenue, and a deposit containing $12,000, which is the property of Rubis Service Station on Joe Farrington Road. Telford was not required to enter a plea to the charges and denied bail. He's back in court in September to receive voluntary bill of indictment papers. Telford is the second person to face charges in the case. His girlfriend, Antoinette Henfield, is charged as an accessory after the fact to murder after she allegedly picked him up after he allegedly dumped the getaway car. She was granted $10,000 bail and also returns to court in September. Meantime, the government is stepping in to address concerns raised by Silver Airways employees in the Bahamas, with top officials already reaching out directly to the airline's leadership. It's been more than 2 weeks since Silver Airways abruptly pulled out of the Bahamas and the wider Caribbean, filing for Chapter 7 bankruptcy. Local staff have expressed frustration over delays in receiving outstanding wages and lapses in national insurance contributions. Now, Director of Aviation Dr. Kenneth Romer says the Ministry of Aviation and the Deputy Prime Minister have personally contacted Silver Airways' CEO to address the matter head-on and ensure Bahamian workers are treated fairly.
We've reached out personally again to the CEO of Silver Airlines. The Deputy Prime Minister has taken this on, again, very personally. So I do know that he has personally, along with many of us, spoken or have reached out again to as high as the CEO of Silver Airlines. Like we said before, and it's made it very clear that where there are persons who might have been disenfranchised, the position of the ministry and, of course, the Deputy Prime Minister, the Minister of Labour, has made it very clear that the government's imperative is to always look out for the welfare of their citizens.
Well, beautiful weather to kick off the weekend. It's time now for your first look at temperatures with meteorologist Greg Thompson. Greg, happy Friday.
Yeah, thanks, Megan, and happy TGIF, everybody. What a change a day has made. We had a lot of showers and thunderstorms over the last 2 days. Things have cleared up. We have some Saharan dust moving in. We'll tell you more about that later on in the newscast. But it is hazy on the outside right now. Temperature right now at 84. East-southeast winds at 12 miles per hour. Feels like temperature is at 87. Temperatures around the remainder of the islands tonight, it's 83 in Freeport and Marsh Harbour, Abaco. Alistown, Bimini, 84. We pick up 84 in the capital as well as in Governor's Harbour. Great Abiquiu, 85. Nicholstown, also 85. Central Bahamas, mid-80s there with 85. In Kemps Bay, we pick up 84s once again. Black Point, Exuma, Georgetown, Arthurstown, Cat Island, Coburn, Townsend, Salvador, Port Nelson, and in Deadman's Key. Southeast Bahamas, 84s in Duncantown, Ragged Island, Colonel Hill, Cricket Island, Delectable Bay. Pair of 85s, Abrahams Bay, Maguana, Providenciales, Tricks, and Kickers Island, Matthew Town, Inagawa. You are the warm spot this evening with 86 degrees. Satellite radar composite. We are still a little unsettled, but not as unsettled as we were the last couple of days. We still have some moisture in place. Most of the activity staying up near the Grand Bahama, the Abacos, as well as Bimini, all still associated with that upper level low. That's going to pull out. But behind that, we do have some Saharan dust moving in, so we're looking at slightly dry conditions into the weekend. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Coming up in sports, VJ is introduced to the fans in Philly for the first time. How are we feeling about number 77? I mean, I'm good, as long as it's not 0.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust. Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
When the winds rise and the storm threatens, are you ready? This hurricane season, face the fury head on. RTV's Storm Navigator with me, Jasmine Brown, and meteorologist Greg Thompson as we reveal the truth behind the storms with expert insights and life-saving tips. When the next storm threatens, will you be prepared? Because when nature unleashes its fury, knowledge is your strongest shield. Stay safe, stay informed, only on RTV.
I was just telling my friend I wish I could get my Our News updates sent to my phone, like a WhatsApp message or something, you know?
Haven't you heard?
Well, who say that?
It's me, Jerome, your news godfather, and I'm here to update your life.
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Mark Nutt. Let's do show. The Philadelphia 76ers fan base had an opportunity to officially meet their new number 77 on the roster, and now a new process begins in the city of brotherly love. BJ Edgecombe and fellow rookie Johnny Broome were introduced to media members at the 76ers training facility earlier today in Philadelphia. Edgecombe joins a deep 76ers backcourt led by all-stars Tyrese Maxey and Paul George, along with last year's first-round pick Jared McCain. While his story captivated millions on draft night, Edgecombe said his mindset has already shifted to the business of basketball.
Jazz Chisholm Jr. had the perfect response to his ejection earlier this week against the Cincinnati Reds. Home run number 11. Chisholm helped to prevent the sweep with a 2-run home run in the Yankees' 7-1 win in the third and final game of the series. It turned out Chisholm's ejection was prompted by former Yankees teammate Jose Trevino, now a member of the Reds. After an off day yesterday, the Yankees will return to the field tonight to open the series against the Athletics.
Team Bahamas is once again looking forward to being contenders at the North American, Central American, and Caribbean Athletic Association Age Group Championships. The 8-member team will be seeking the team's third consecutive NACAC title in Managua, Nicaragua, July 4th and 5th. The under-13 girls are Michaela Sayers and Kyan Duncombe. Under-13 boys are Antonio Hanna and Aiden Knowles. Samaya Strawn and Jose Johnson are the under-15 girls, while Emil Higgins and Justin Shepard are the under-15 boys. The team will be led by head coach Nikita Sayers-Knowles and assistant coach Sharon Francis. And of course, your 10YS Plays of the Week. That'll do it for our sports. Stay tuned to Our News at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When Our News comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as a United States Air Force Lieutenant General expresses his confidence in Ukraine emerging as victor in the ongoing war with Russia. Plus, President Trump gets the green light to resume deporting migrants to countries other than their own. And then, Panama has declared a state of emergency as anti-government protesters oppose a pension reform law. We have the details when Our News returns.
The winds rise and the storm threatens. Are you ready? This hurricane season faced the fury head-on. RTV's storm navigator with me, Jasmine Brown, and meteorologist Greg Thompson as we reveal the truth behind the storms with expert insights and life-saving tips. When the next storm threatens, will you be prepared? Because when nature unleashes its fury, knowledge is your strongest shield. Stay safe, stay informed, only on RTV.
I was just telling my friend I wish I could get my Our News updates sent to my phone, like a WhatsApp message or something, you know?
Haven't you heard?
Well, who say that?
It's me, Jerome, your news godfather, and I'm here to update your life.
Well, how do you plan to update my life exactly? Because I don't think I'm understanding. Care to elaborate?
Our News has launched its broadcast channel, so now most important updates come straight to your WhatsApp.
Dad, so you tell me that I have access to real-time updates and news at 7:30?
Yes, you get it first and direct and unfiltered.
Okay.
It's perfect for our viewers who want to stay on top of what's going on.
Well, I want to stay in tune. Are you talking about like recent crimes and political updates and heartfelt stories as well as sports coverage?
We're talking exclusive updates, behind-the-scenes content, major announcement, everything you actually care about.
Nice. I love the sound of that. So this is like VIP access to the news you don't want to miss. So what are you waiting for? Be sure to press
Yes, I will marry you.
For the juicy, crunchy, irresistible taste of a KFC big deal, some people will do anything. KFC, it's finger licking good.
From the field to the fresh market, you will find fresh, delicious, mouth-watering produce and meat. Discover organic, specialty, and healthy grocery products for everyday cooking. Your adventure awaits. Experience the fresh escape. Sign up today for My Solomon Smart Rewards at Solomon's Fresh Market.
This is Our News. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. U.S. President Donald Trump's nominee to become the top U.S. general in Europe said on Tuesday he believes Ukraine could prevail against Russia's more than 3-year-old invasion. Air Force Lieutenant General Alexis Grinkowicz made the comments during testimony at his Senate confirmation hearing.
Senator, I think Ukraine can win. I think anytime your own homeland is threatened, you fight with a tenacity that's difficult for us to conceive of if we haven't found ourselves in that same situation.
The U.S. Supreme Court cleared the way on Monday for President Donald Trump's administration to resume deporting migrants to countries other than their own without offering them a chance to show the harms they could face, handing him another victory in his aggressive pursuit of mass deportations.
The U.S. Supreme Court is allowing the Trump administration, for now, to deport people to a country that isn't their own. It lifts an order from Boston-based U.S. District Judge Brian Murphy that migrants being sent to so-called third countries get what was called a meaningful opportunity to tell officials they're at risk of torture where they're going. The Supreme Court put that order on pause Monday while a legal challenge against it plays out. It hands President Donald Trump another victory in his aggressive pursuit of mass deportations. The Trump administration challenged Murphy's order after an attempt to send a group of migrants to politically unstable South Sudan, which the State Department has urged Americans to avoid, quote, due to crime, kidnapping, and armed conflict. Murphy found that the Trump administration had violated an order for additional steps before trying to send the migrants there. In May, he intervened, prompting the U.S. government to keep the migrants at a military base in Djibouti. The administration asked the Supreme Court to intervene after that. It told the court that its third country policy already complied with due process and was critical for removing migrants who commit crimes because, they say, their countries of origin are often unwilling to take them back. Monday's reversal from the Supreme Court was an emergency request and was unsigned without reasoning for the decision.
Massive amounts of sargassum algae washed up on the shores of Samana as summer began in the Dominican Republic, impacting tourism and local businesses, according to residents and local workers. Sayakir Jasni reports.
On the shores of Samana in the Dominican Republic, a leafy brown blanket is creeping over the coastline. As summer began on Sunday, a massive amounts of sargassum algae swept ashore. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the algae is a brown seaweed that clumps on ocean surface, never sinking to the sea floor. These floating mats can be huge and provide food and shelter for fish, turtles, birds, and more. But for locals, it's bad news. Sargassum has increasingly affected Dominican beaches and coastal communities since 2018, especially in popular spots like Samana. Boat operators and tour guides reported a sharp drop in tourists, with visitors avoiding beaches covered in decomposing algae.
We hardly do any tours. Look at the boats stranded there.
We're missing a bit of activity because the bad smell and everything keeps people away. When there's no sargassum and it isn't raining, things go well here and sales are good.
Researchers from the Technological Institute of Santo Domingo say they're finding better ways to predict sargassum arrivals, as they say local currents are unpredictable. Ivan Jimenez is a mechanical engineering professor with the institute.
What we try to do is understand or maybe model how the sargassum behaves according to the local conditions at the time.
Panama has declared a state of emergency in western Bocas del Toro province, where anti-government protesters opposing a pension reform law are accused of setting fire to a baseball stadium and of looting businesses, including a provincial airport. The protests erupted 2 months ago in Bocas del Toro, which is a major banana-producing region, but they intensified this week, culminating in clashes with police and left one person dead and injured about 30 people, including several officers. The Caribbean nation is feeling the ripple effects of a union strike on the mainland that's far from where the protests are happening, yet still affecting many communities. Still to come in our news, Today in History. Find out interesting facts about the day that was June 27th. Plus, it's all systems go for the highly anticipated annual Bahamas Culinary and Arts Festival. We'll tell you all about it. And then in our news at 7:30, the Ministry of Health and Wellness hosting its annual regional testing day at the RM Bailey Park. Our news was there, and we've got the details when our news returns.
If you want a real nice taste.
Massive amounts of sargassum algae washed up on the shores of Samana as summer began in the Dominican Republic, impacting tourism and local businesses, according to residents and local workers. Sayakir Jasni reports.
On the shores of Samana in the Dominican Republic, a leafy brown blanket is creeping over the coastline. As summer began on Sunday, a massive amounts of sargassum algae swept ashore. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the algae is a brown seaweed that clumps on ocean surface, never sinking to the sea floor. These floating mats can be huge and provide food and shelter for fish, turtles, birds, and more. But for locals, it's bad news. Sargassum has increasingly affected Dominican beaches and coastal communities since 2018, especially in popular spots like Samana. Boat operators and tour guides reported a sharp drop in tourists, with visitors avoiding beaches covered in decomposing algae.
We hardly do any tours. Look at the boats stranded there.
We're missing a bit of activity because the bad smell and everything keeps people away. When there's no sargassum and it isn't raining, things go well here and sales are good.
Researchers from the Technological Institute of Santo Domingo say they're finding better ways to predict sargassum arrivals, as they say local currents are unpredictable. Ivan Jimenez is a mechanical engineering professor with the institute.
What we try to do is understand or maybe model how the sargassum behaves according to the local conditions at the time.
Panama has declared a state of emergency in western Bocas del Toro province, where anti-government protesters opposing a pension reform law are accused of setting fire to a baseball stadium and of looting businesses, including a provincial airport. The protests erupted 2 months ago in Bocas del Toro, which is a major banana-producing region, but they intensified this week, culminating in clashes with police and left one person dead and injured about 30 people, including several officers. The Caribbean nation is feeling the ripple effects of a union strike on the mainland that's far from where the protests are happening, yet still affecting many communities. Still to come in our news, Today in History. Find out interesting facts about the day that was June 27th. Plus, it's all systems go for the highly anticipated annual Bahamas Culinary and Arts Festival. We'll tell you all about it. And then in our news at 7:30, the Ministry of Health and Wellness hosting its annual regional testing day at the Bailey Park. Our news was there, and we've got the details when our news returns.
Winds rise and the storm threatens. Are you ready? This hurricane season faced the fury head-on. RTV's storm navigator with me, Jasmine Brown, and meteorologist Greg Thompson as we reveal the truth behind the storms with expert insights and life-saving tips. When the next storm threatens, will you be prepared? Because when nature unleashes its fury, knowledge is your strongest shield. Stay safe, stay informed, only on RTV.
I was just telling my friend I wish I could get my Our News updates sent to my phone, like a WhatsApp message or something, you know?
Haven't you heard?
Well, who say that?
It's me, Jerome, your news godfather, and I'm here to update your life.
Well, how do you plan to update my life exactly? Because I don't think I'm understanding. Care to elaborate?
Our News has launched its broadcast channel, so now most important updates come straight to your WhatsApp.
Dad, so you tell me that I have access to real-time updates and news at 7:30?
Yes, you get it first and direct and unfiltered.
Okay.
It's perfect for our viewers who want to stay on top of what's going on.
Well, I want to stay in tune. Are you talking about like recent crimes and political updates and heartfelt stories as well as sports coverage?
We're talking exclusive updates, behind-the-scenes content, major announcement, everything you actually care about.
Nice. I love the sound of that. So this is like VIP access to the news you don't want to know. So what are you waiting for?
On this day in Bahamian history in 1979, Dorothy Davis became the first Bahamian woman to attain the rank of inspector in the Royal Bahamas Police Force. In 2019, His Excellency C.A. Smith was sworn in as Governor General. Then in 2022, Prime Minister Philip Davis, who had just returned from the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Rwanda, defended his recent travel schedule, saying his international trips are bearing fruit. Finally, in 2022 was the launch of the Child Abuse Hotline 711. Minister of Social Services at the time, Obi Wolshcombe, said that the tragic death of 4-year-old Bella Walker was a heartbreaking wake-up call and that the new hotline would make it easier to report cases of child abuse. For the full details on these stories and more interesting facts from the day that was June 27th, head on over to ournews.bs. Bahamas is preparing to host their 4th annual Bahamas Culinary and Arts Festival, and it's scheduled for October 22nd through the 26th. Headlined by international renowned chefs like Daniel Blueblood, Marcus Samuelson, Amanda Freitag, and our very own Simeon Hall Jr., the festival is not just a display of flavors, but also a fusion of cultures, entertainment, and art. Executive Director for the Arts and Culture for Bahamas, John Cox, says the long-term goal of this event is for it to become the Art Basel of the Caribbean, exhibiting local, regional, and international talent.
And we kind of feel like there's a kind of collective community spirit that exists in the Bahamas, but also connects us to the region. And, you know, it's a natural fit. They all kind of look to us and we look to them. And I think we have some advantages in terms of our proximity, obviously the support that we have of Bahamas and all of the infrastructure that's connected to where we are, which makes us probably primed to take the lead in this role.
Officials have not announced the entertainment headliner for the highly anticipated welcome party, but sales and marketing manager for the resort, Nadia Bo, says local acts will be featured and there will also be a surprise appearance from a Grammy Award-winning artist.
We definitely reach out to our local entertainers a lot. So we have featured over the years, we have had the Synergy Band, we have had Essence Band. So we are doing that exact same thing, targeting those specific bands this year. So the Essence Band will be featuring a happy hour during that week. John Batiste is scheduled to actually appear for the festival that week. We will still keep it a surprise as to what that actually looks like, but we are very excited for him to come down for this event.
Well, to watch that story again and for all of today's top stories, be sure to visit ournews.bs. That does it for our news at 7. Joining us now is our Italia Hall with the latest headlines. Italia.
Happy Friday, Megan.
Happy Friday.
Well, coming up, the Rotary Club of Grand Bahama preparing to host their installation ceremony, a celebration of the arts. Here are your latest headlines.
First tonight on our news at 7:30, the Free National Movement officially unveiling 17 candidates for the next general election, including a mix of former MPs and new faces. Also with 17 candidates now named, including several political newcomers, we head to Grand Bahama to get reaction to the F&M's major move. Plus, it was all about education and access at the unveiling Park today as the Ministry of Health hosted Regional Testing Day, a major push to raise sexual health awareness. And later, the world's largest swimming lesson took place today, uniting communities around the importance of teaching children how to swim. The story when our news at 7:30 returns.
At Struckham, we're all about peace of mind. With the latest tools and technology like PestPack, managing pest control just got easier. It's simple. Log on to the portal to review past services or monitor trends. Just tap Service Reports to access detailed records and see how we're keeping your business pest-free. You can even customize permissions so your teams in maintenance and health and safety have real-time access to everything they need. With PestPack, you're in control, anytime, anywhere. Get ready to simplify pest management with just a few taps.
Inti Corporation is on the move, day by day, panel by panel. Our commitment to sustainable energy becomes more real. With each milestone, Inti redefines what is possible. Not only are the Lucayas solar power projects on the island of Grand Bahama growing in scale, they are setting a new standard for energy independence in the Bahamas. These state-of-the-art solar farms at the Fairfield and Devon sites, once completed, will harness the power of the sun to generate 9.5 million.
Welcome to our news. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Italia Hall. The Free National Movement unveiling 17 new candidates for the next general election at the party's Mackey Street headquarters last night. The 17 candidates includes former F&M members of parliament and political newcomers. Speaking on the sidelines of last night's event, party chairman Dr. Dwayne Sands, who says the launch is just the beginning of their plans to win the next general election.
We remain absolutely focused on the issues that are important to the Bahamian people. What we recognize is that this is about the personal experiences that so many people are having. Are you better off now than you were before? People are finding it incredibly difficult to survive. The government just handed out light bills that are like mortgages.
Tan says the 17 candidates are just the first of the 39 that the FNM believes will bring the change that is needed. The FNM chairman says there's no doubt he will be on the FNM's ticket along with party leader Michael Pintard and deputy leader Shannon Cartwright. As it relates to those candidates who've been revealed,
it isn't going to be business as usual. They have been given marching orders to say that your goal is to serve, to make a difference in the lives of Bahamian people. So they're young people, they're not so young people, women, professionals, working people. We are very excited.
Well, those candidates telling our Bethany McDermott last night that they are ready to officially kick off their campaigns.
12 new faces are looking to walk the halls of Parliament representing the Free National Movement in the next election. They were a part of the 17 candidates ratified by the Free National Movement Thursday night. Among them were former Democratic National Alliance leader Orinthia Komalafe, who will go head-to-head with Carmichael MP Keith Bell for the Free National Movement. Komalafe sharing the reason for the move.
Even when I was in third-party politics, there were so many persons who understand my word, understand what I bring to the table from a national perspective and just the dialogue that I continue to push on a national perspective, that they wanted me to move to a more major party so that I can have an opportunity to be able to contribute to society.
She says she's lived and grew up in the area and is looking to continue the legacy of Frank Watson. Candidate for Golden Isles Brian Brown is throwing his hat in the ring a second time after losing in the last general election.
I've been doing all kinds of community work. I've seen the need for it. It needs a mass cleaning up in Golden Isles. All the derelict vehicles, it just needs mass cleaning up. So I'm prepared. I'm prepared to do the work for the people of Golden Isles to make Golden Isles the best community in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
This is the first major step the FNM has taken on the road to the 2026 general election. Energetic FNM supporters came out in all their red gear anticipating the rollout of these candidates as they say they are ready to take the government under new leadership. Another new face to the list is Dr. Nicholas Fox, who will go head-to-head with Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell. He says he remains an active part of the community and was born and raised in the area. He says he's not fazed by the longevity of the current MP.
There's no intimidation. I'm not afraid. I'm from Foxhill. I know my people. He's not. He's not from Foxhill. They accepted him, but Foxhill people like their own. And I've seen Foxhill go from a cohesive community to one where there is so much violent crimes and the people are afraid. And I would like to see Foxhill back to the cohesive family unit community that it was when I was there.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Bethany McDermott.
All right, thanks so much for that, Bethany. And the party's leader says the FNM is focused on selecting credible and competent individuals. We now go to Grand Bahama for reaction.
From hurricanes to hotel closures, Grand Bahama has faced more than its share of setbacks. So when political parties announce their candidates, residents listen closely. The Free National Movement unveiled 17 candidates at its Mackey Street headquarters last night, with 2 for Grand Bahama. East Grand Bahama's incumbent MP, Kwesi Thompson, is seeking re-election. But the FNM is also introducing a new face, Grand Bahama businessman Omar Isaacs. We caught up with Isaacs this morning as he arrived back home in Grand Bahama fresh from the candidates' launch.
It's been a dream come true, but we know that this part of the race is just ending and the new race is beginning. So we're looking forward to knocking on those doors, getting on the ground in a real way.
His entry into frontline politics is welcome news for some. Roberto Taylor says it's good to have young people in the forefront like Isaacs. But for this upcoming election, he says action must follow words.
I think because there is such loyalty to a party, there has to be a group of persons that really pay attention to what's taking place and make decisions based on what was done and not party colors, not I favor this particular person.
Now, Grand Bahama has 5 parliamentary seats, but only 2 candidates have been named so far for the FNM. Candidates for Marco City, Central Grand Bahama, and Pine Ridge are still left to be revealed. These residents have strong views on what kind of leadership is needed.
Leaders should be able to see, leaders should have vision, and leaders should have foresight.
I don't vote for party, I vote for people, for person, for a candidate. If somebody showed me that they're integral, that they have the best interest of the people at heart, then that would be the person to vote for.
Now, no official timeline has been given for when the remaining 3 candidates will be revealed by the FNM.
What I expect from any political party and their selection of candidates. Simply, of course, that they do right by the people. That's it. I'm not nonpartisan. Simply means, of course, no political bias.
Well, prosecutors have withdrawn charges against a teen accused of a baby shower shooting that killed one man and injured three others. Kobe Taylor was on trial for the August 21st, 2022 murder of Jadalee Adverell and the attempted murders of Perry Johnson, Tyrone Smith, and Darren Roll when the DPP ordered an end to the proceedings. On the day in question, prosecutors said two gunmen shot up the baby shower venue on Stack Avenue in Nassau Village. It was all about sexual health awareness at the Bailey Park today as the Ministry of Health and Wellness hosted its annual Regional Testing Day event. It's an initiative that's been reaching communities since 1995. Health professionals offered free rapid HIV testing, STI screenings, and checks for non-communicable diseases. Among them was Acting Managing Director of the Infectious Disease Center, Beverly Boyd, who says it brings vital services directly to the people.
You also have males' health. You know, men, they are afraid of going to the doctor sometimes. So we are here to tell them exactly why they need to find out about their health and what they need to do to make sure that they are okay, you know. So we are here just making sure that you know your status. You know, our team today is to love yourself and know your status and level up.
The event attracted dozens of residents eager to learn their health status, with organizers reporting a great turnout. Boyd adds that anyone testing positive is linked immediately to care and treatment, which is provided free of charge thanks to government support.
The numbers are going down because of our medication. So we ensure that, you know, we also not only we give PrEP, those who probably living on the edge, make sure that you have medication so that you won't get HIV. So you can come in and just get that. Or we want those who, if you know your status, you will take care of yourself and take care of your loved ones so that they won't acquire HIV also. So the numbers are really going down. Plus on the medication, patients are really doing well.
All right, good news. Well, nice weather on this Friday to kick off the weekend. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with your first look at weather. Greg, how's it looking?
Yeah, thanks, Italian. Happy TGI for everybody. Hazy conditions on the outside right now with a temperature of 84 degrees. It's still a bit on the humid side as well. East-southeast winds at 12 miles per hour feels like temperature hanging out in the upper 80s. Satellite radar composite, still some moisture across area courtesy of that upper level low that was spinning just to the north of us, pulled more towards the northern portion of Florida. But we still have some moisture that it is tapping into. That's a disturbance. The National Hurricane Center is watching for some potential development over the next couple of days, but it should not affect us. Most of the moisture will be moving out for the weekend. That's a quick check on conditions around the island. Stick with us. Look at your extended forecast. Still to come.
Still to come on our news, the world's largest swimming lesson took place today, sharing the importance of teaching children how to swim. Plus, the Rotary Club of Grand Bahama partnering with key stakeholders to celebrate culture, talent, and creativity for its upcoming installation. A celebration of the arts is spotlighting local artists and the orange economy in a big way. We'll tell you all about it straight ahead. And later, a new luxury brand has made its global debut right here in the Bahamas. Atlantis Paradise Island hosted the premiere of a bold new retail experience, and that's all coming up when our news returns.
Inti Corporation is on the move, day by day, panel by panel. Our commitment to sustainable energy becomes more real. With each milestone, Inti redefines what is possible. Not only are the Lucayas solar power projects on the island of Grand Bahama growing in scale, they are setting a new standard for energy independence in the Bahamas. These state-of-the-art solar farms at the Fairfield and Devon sites, once completed, will harness the power of the sun to generate 9.5 megawatts of clean, sustainable energy. Inti is on the move as a beacon of progress and innovation that is rapidly transforming our energy landscape. Witness the future of sustainable energy unfolding on the island of Grand Bahama as Inti Corporation shines brighter than ever. Inti Corporation, powering your world, powering your future.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need a...
The world's largest swimming lesson took place today. It's a global observation. The Bahamas Resort recognized today by inviting dozens of guests and locals to Baja Bay for complimentary swimming lessons. This year marks the third year the resort has participated in the event. The Bahamas Foundation manager Malvern Williamson tells us that this isn't just a Bahamas initiative.
Baja Bay is partnering with the Bahamas Swimming Association as well, just to make sure that we have all of the team here.
A total of 197 people participated in today's event. Williamson says they will continue to echo the overall message of their international partners.
Swimming lessons save lives, especially now that school is closing for the children. And, we want to make sure that awareness is out there.
Well, the Rotary Club of Grand Bahama is teaming up with the Ministry for Grand Bahama and the Tourism Development Corporation, to present a celebration of the arts, a cultural installation that highlights the orange economy and honors local talent. It's not just a regular Rotary installation, but a full tribute to music legends and rising stars. Funds raised from the event will go towards winners of the Freeport's Got Talent competition. The event will be held at the BUT Hall on Sunday, June 29th. Artists like Jay Mitchell, Phil Stubbs, KB, T Connections, T Coakley, and many others are expected to be in attendance. President-elect David Mackey says it's important to give artists their flowers while they're still here.
As the minister says, the hub of arts and entertainment, we're working to push that. And what we're investing into the young people is to nurture that industry, because music is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And, it's like we're getting like 1 cent out of that. And we need to increase that. And with the help of the different entities and powers that be, which we're so grateful for, we're able to finally see our way to get a piece of that pie, because we really deserve a piece of that pie. We have some talented artists in all sorts of different genres.
Yes, that's our Dave Mackey. Congrats to him. And these partners are encouraging residents to attend.
Just come out and enjoy it and have fun with us. A lot of times people say, there is nothing to do in Freeport. Well, on Sunday the 29th, there'll be a lot to do.
What we want to really be doing is putting heads in beds. So this is an opportunity for people to come from all over the world, believe it or not, to fill all the hotels, which I think they will, for this event. And already we have people calling and coming to us, asking us for tickets.
I'm really excited about being here because, as Christine indicated, Rotary is a tremendous organization, and its focus is the community.
How you doing? You ain't seen me for a long time, but on the 29th, I'm going to be right there. So I'm looking for you to come out too.
When our news comes back from the break, Atlanta's Paradise Island just got more vibrant with the launch of a luxury brand which promises to give shoppers an experience like no other.
Coming up in sports, Philly officially welcomes Jazz to the franchise. Jazz responds to an ejection in the best possible way. Team Bahamas looks for another win at the NACAC Age Group Champs. And of course, your 10YS Plays of the Week.
And making any big plans for the weekend, Greg is back with your extended weather forecast when our news returns. Stay with us.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Keisha, one thing with you ain't never have no money. I just sent Miko inside Wendy's just now because Wendy's 7-day summer promo. Just hot cash, girl. Yes, hot cash. But anyway, we did this one right now. We trying to win this $10,000. And even if you ain't win the $10,000, you can win $2,500 every week. Even if you don't get no ride, Keisha. Anyway, Keisha, I go on Miko Reach. Bye. All you gotta do is upgrade any combo between 1 to 12 to medium or large. And they get this new spicy chicken club sandwich. But I just sent Miko inside there for from June 24th to August 1st. You ain't get...
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's Sean Mark Nutt. Let's do show. The Philadelphia 76ers fan base had an opportunity to officially meet their new number 77 on the roster, and now a new process begins in the city of brotherly love. BJ Edgecombe and fellow rookie Johnny Broome were introduced to media members at the 76ers training facility earlier today in Philadelphia.
I mean, I wanted to come to the NBA, and you have great players on the court at all times, so I was blessed to be able to play alongside other great players. So just help mature my game, my mindset, how I think, how I carry myself, and it's totally different from the college game. More spacing. In college, you can sit in the paint the whole time, crowd the lane. So, it's two different ball games.
Edgecombe joins the deep 76ers backcourt led by All-Stars Tyrese Maxey and Paul George, along with last year's first-round pick, Jared McCain. While his story captivated millions on draft night, Edgecombe said his mindset has already shifted to the business of basketball.
I mean, growing up, if you wanted to play, you had to play defense. So I feel like that's where it all started for me. And I just hate to see people score, and I hate to lose. Like I said, if they score more points than you, you lose. So I just hate losing. So if I have to play defense the whole time, I love doing that. So yeah.
Jazz Chisholm Jr. had the perfect response to his ejection earlier this week against the Cincinnati Reds. Home run number 11. Chisholm helped to prevent the sweep with a 2-run home run in the Yankees' 7-1 win in the third and final game of the series. It turned out Chisholm's ejection was prompted by former Yankees teammate Jose Trevino, now a member of the Reds. After an off day yesterday, the Yankees will return to the field tonight to open the series against the Athletics.
Yeah, I did tell him it was for last night. He's the one who kind of provoked the umpire and stuff, so for that all to happen, so I just told him that was for last night.
Team Bahamas is once again looking forward to being contenders at the North American, Central American, and Caribbean Athletic Association Age Group Championships. The 8-member team will be seeking the team's third consecutive NACAC title in Managua, Nicaragua, July 4th and 5th. The under-13 girls are Michaela Sayers and Kyan Duncombe. Under-13 boys are Antonio Hanna and Aiden Knowles. Samaya Strawn and Jose Johnson are the under-15 girls, while Emil Higgins and Justin Shepard are the under-15 boys. The team will be led by head coach Nikita Sayers-Knowles and assistant coach Sharon Francis. It was a huge week in Bahamian basketball, but of course that's not all. Let's get to top plays. At 5, I'm sure everyone is just happy to hear VJ's story, and no one out there has a problem hearing Bimini to the world, right? What did we miss?
At number 4, in the MLB Pipeline's Prospect Showcase, Sebastian Walcott shows why he's the number 9 prospect overall in MLB Pipeline.
At number 3, BJ Murray with a 3-run shot, and he's done this in just 68 games this season. His career high, 16 in 2023, but that was in 124 games.
At number 2, Jazz gives a little warm-up for what's going to be number 1. A home run against the Reds, showing New York what Bahamians are about.
And finally, at number 1, this was the moment everyone was waiting for, and it completely lived up to the hype. VJ Edgecombe becoming the latest Bahamian to cross that draft stage, and he joins the Philadelphia 76ers. That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. I wish VJ would put Bimini to the world on his shoes. I wish he could put it on his jersey.
347. If you know, you know.
Well, now you all know. Back to the studio.
Still ahead on our news tonight, Atlanta's unveiled a new luxury brand this week, bringing a world-class experience to local and international guests. We'll take you inside its grand opening. And Greg is back with the extended weather forecast when our news returns. Stay with us.
But you, Keisha, one thing with you ain't never have no money. I just sent Miko inside Wendy's just now because Wendy's 7-day summer promo. Just hot cash, girl. Yes, hot cash. But anyway, we did this one right now. We trying to win this $10,000. And even if you ain't win the $10,000, you can win $2,500 every week. Even if you don't get no ride, Keisha. Anyway, Keisha, I go on Miko Reach. Fine. All you gotta do is upgrade any combo between 1 to 12 to medium or large. And they get this new spicy chicken club sandwich. But I just sent Miko inside there for from June 24th to August 1st. You ain't getting the Wendy's, that's on you. But don't ask me for no money when
I was just telling my friend I wish I could get my Our News updates sent to my phone, like a WhatsApp message or something, you know?
Haven't you heard?
Well, who say that?
It's me, Jerome, your news godfather, and I'm here to update your life.
Well, how do you plan to update my life exactly? Because I don't think I'm understanding. Care to elaborate?
Our News has launched its broadcast channel, so now most important updates come straight to your WhatsApp.
Dad, so you tell me that I have access to real-time updates and news at 7:30?
Yes, you get it first and direct and unfiltered.
Okay.
It's perfect for our viewers who want to stay on top of what's going on.
Well, I want to stay in tune. Are you talking about like recent crimes and political updates and heartfelt stories as well as sports coverage?
We're talking exclusive updates, behind-the-scenes content, major announcement, everything you actually care about.
Nice. I love the sound of that. So this is like VIP access to the news. You don't want to miss it. So what are you waiting for? Be sure to press the notification bell on the WhatsApp broadcast channel so that you don't miss out on all of the real-time updates.
When the winds rise and the storm threatens, are you ready? This hurricane season, face the fury head on. RTV's Storm Navigator with me, Jasmine Brown, and meteorologist Greg Thompson as we reveal the truth behind it.
This is our news. Welcome back. We still have some moisture hanging around from that upper level low that's spinning just to the north of us across North Florida. Also tapping into some of that moisture down towards the southwest Caribbean. The National Hurricane Center will be watching that area. Show you that in a short bit. But that moisture will continue to lift towards the north. Some Saharan dust moving in, so that's the reason why we have the hazy conditions on the outside. And that will dry us out for the weekend, but we do expect another upper level low to be getting in here by the early part of next week. So we're looking for some more showers in that. Getting ahead of ourselves, let's take a look at the tropics. Nothing happening out there. A couple of tropical waves moving across the tropical belt. Another one approaching the Leeward Islands, all disorganized. But the area that the National Hurricane Center is going to be watching is down the southwest Caribbean. Has about a 30% potential for formation. But as that crosses into the Yucatan Peninsula and into the Bay of Campeche, it's expected to fall apart as it moves into Mexico. Taking a look at the future forecast, some moisture to the north of us across Grand Bahama and the Abacos. That will fizzle out tonight through tomorrow, and we expect conditions to remain the same through the rest of the weekend, with some moisture approaching us from the east, courtesy of that upper level low. Boating forecast, northwest Bahamas tonight, Southeasterly winds 10 to 15 knot, seas 2 to 4 feet. Your tide cycle, high tide is at 10:26 tonight. Low tide takes place at 4:57 in the morning. Central and southeast Bahamas, caution flag down there. Rip current risks will remain elevated. East to southeast winds, 15 to 20 knots. It will be gusting higher times across the southeastern islands. Seas running 4 to 7 feet over open waters. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In your extended forecast, Saturday looks nice. Some Saharan dust hanging around, keeping us dry, but that upper level approaching us by the early part of next week. Showers in the forecast Sunday, Monday, clearing out by Tuesday. We expect some more haze by the middle of next week. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night. Have a great weekend, everybody.
All right, thanks so much for that, Greg. Well, a new luxury brand has premiered in Atlantis, Paradise Island. The store, which is the first of its kind globally, opened with a splash, giving customers an unforgettable experience. Our Daniel Miller has the details.
In partnership with Carlo Bahamas, the first ever dedicated Maui Jim store in the world has arrived to the shores of the Bahamas at the Atlantis' Crystal Court. The eye-catching boutique depicts the philosophy of the brand, which is to spread aloha through vivid color, clarity, and detail, immersing customers in what the world will look like while wearing a pair of their sunglasses. The brand, which originated in Hawaii in 1987, now offers more than 125 styles of sunglasses, all polarized to offer protection from harmful UV rays. The store opened Father's Day weekend, and for the grand event, customers were taken on a scenic boat experience. Regional Manager of Caring Eyewear and Maui Jim, Petro Duruin, tells us more.
The idea was to host some guests in our Maui Jim boat in order to them experiencing the real power of Maui Jim, which is the technology of the lens. What does it mean? That this lens, which is exclusive of Maui Jim and which is present on all Maui Jim range, basically enhances a lot the colors and make the view more defined.
I knew you were going to pick that one. I saw it, I was like,
that's a good one. This is beautiful. That's a good one.
It's the one you
had.
Look at you.
That's a good one.
Those are nice. Is it good?
Bahamas is the perfect environment where to, make Maui Jim express its DNA, since of course Hawaii and Bahamas has a lot of points in common. But on top of this, for us, it was let's say a natural step given the long partnership we have with Carlo Milano.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Danielle Miller.
All right, thanks for that, Danny. Of course, if you want to see that story again, it's available now at ournews.bs. And with that, we thank you for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.
Danielle here. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to see more great content, be sure to hit that notification button and follow the team you already trust.